Greetings, Chem family. It's me, Set, your African holistic health nurse for Kemetic wellness, and I'm back with another video. Before we continue, I'm going to make sure that I can actually be heard on YouTube because I actually started this stream and we had some technical difficulties. So let me make sure that I am on YouTube and that you all can hear me. So let me make sure that I am on YouTube. There we go. Okay. So everybody come on in. Okay. Today we're going to be talking about why the scapegoat must become wealthy. Okay. If you're new here, my name is Set. I'm a licensed registered nurse and the founder of Kemetic Wellness. Our goal at Kemetic Wellness is to break the generational cycles of trauma through African holistic health. At Kemetic Wellness, we use 4 ancestral healing modalities. We use language, energy medicine, nutrition, and sacred movement. So if any of that interests you, keep watching. I see some people coming in. Peace to you, Christina. Peace. Okay, so today we are specifically focused on energy medicine and particularly the energy of our money. Okay, our money. This is something that is very necessary for any of us who grew up as the black sheep, scapegoat in your family, whatever term you want to use. If this is you, you need to hear this information. Okay. The reason I'm talking about this is because I noticed that the most popular video on this channel was the video that I did on what happens when the scapegoat leaves the toxic family. Okay. I was very surprised by how this video did. When I was going through it, I thought I was the only person going through it. You know, I felt so alone. And so it was reassuring to know that so many other people were going through this, but it also let me know that this is a topic that I need to speak on further. Okay. So most of the time when I see people talk about this topic on YouTube, it's kind of more from a disempowering space, okay? Most of the time, it's about people who treated you so badly. It's a victim mentality space. And it's going over and over and over about the problem. That's most of what I hear when people are talking about the scapegoat. And in a way, I think it is helpful for a period of time. It's helpful for those of you who are in it, going through the situation, and you actually have no idea that anybody else would even understand what you're going through. And so it helps you with being validated because you feel those things when you're in it, right? Christina says, those videos about the scapegoat were so healing. You brought me peace truly. Oh, good, thanks. Thank you so much, Christina. Thank you for being here. I'm glad that those videos were helpful to you. Yeah, so, you know, and even in the time when I was going through it, those types of videos were helpful to me for the validation. But after a certain time, it becomes a point of being stuck in victim mentality. And you have to be able to get past that point, okay? So the goal on this channel is to help you get past that point. It is to transform from being in a space of being the black sheep, the victim, the loser in life, to becoming the GOAT, which is basically being victorious over your life. So today we're going to talk about money specifically, okay? And I'm going to take some water because I need it right now. Okay. So now that I'm a lot further along in my journey, I want to talk more about how I got here, okay? If you are the black sheep of your family, it is imperative it is imperative, okay, that you acquire financial success. So when I say wealth, I'm not speaking about being a billionaire, millionaire. I'm talking about what you need for your life. Everybody's level of wealth or success is different, okay? But no matter what that level is for you, you must focus on acquiring wealth and financial success, okay? This is not a matter of greed. It's not a matter of consumerism or capitalism or any of that. It is a matter of sheer necessity for you if you were a scapegoat or black sheep in your family. Okay? The reason for that is that the scapegoat grows up in a very toxic family system, a very dysfunctional family system, which means that you do not have a strong family support in order to fall back on in times of hardship. Okay? People who come from good families or fairly functional families, if they get into some mess, they can call their family, but you, being the scapegoat, you cannot do that. Okay. The reason that you cannot do that is because you have family members who are backbiting, who are pretty much vultures waiting for you to be in your demise. Okay. They're waiting for your demise. So you have to create a net for yourself in case you do fall. And that net is going to be your money. This is why, in order to become the GOAT, meaning becoming victorious over your life, you must be wealthy. You must. Okay. So you'll notice in your family, right? If you come from a very dysfunctional family, that typically the family will support the bum in the family. Okay. If you have a family member who doesn't try very hard, who's not doing a whole lot, and they fall on hard times, they will quickly help this family member out. They will quickly pour resources into a bucket with a hole in it. Okay, because that's what a family bum is. They're not going to do anything but piss away those resources. But you the one who has been studious your entire life. You the one who will do a little with a lot with a whole. You the one who will do a lot with a little bit. Okay, you're like the queen of making $1 out of 15 cents. They will never help you. They will never help you. They will never help you. So you have to focus on your own resources. You have to focus on your money. Okay? Let it be a time that you fall on hard times because you got into a car accident, you fell sick, or something like that happened to you. You're going to see that nobody will come to your aid. Okay? In fact, a lot of people will revel in your demise. Okay? This is why, in order to become the GOAT, you must become wealthy. You must. Okay? All right? So my mother used to say something growing up. She used to say, my money is my friend. And she would say this when I would ask my mom, why doesn't she have friends? Like, Mommy, why don't you have more friends? And when she would say this, I would think it was because, she wasn't very good at making friends. And part of that is true. My mom's very narcissistic. So I thought that's what it was. But later on in life, I realized that she understood how fickle people can be. So she was saying, my money is my friend. Okay. If you begin to fall on hard times, you will see how quickly people who were around you, who you thought were your friends, okay, people who would smile from ear to ear when they saw you, whose eyes would get so big when you would walk into a room, you will see how quickly they will find the courage to disrespect you when you are broke. This is why my money is my friend. Okay? And if you were the black sheep in your family, your money needs to be a friend. Okay? A lot of time, people are waiting for you to fall. They're waiting to humble you. They're waiting to stunt on you, to brag on you. Okay? They're waiting to knock you off of your pedestal because they've watched you shine. They watched you win. They have watched you glow for a very, very long time. And in the season when you need help, that's their opportunity to knock you off of your pedestal. This is why you see certain people who never fall off of their pedestal. Beyonce is a great example of this. Do you know how many people would drag her to hell if she ever fell off of her pedestal? Do you know how many people are waiting? They're waiting. Okay. Heads up to you, Kaprash. I see you. Okay. So a lot of them are waiting for their opportunity to finally feel like they're better than you because they've watched you shine. If you're the black sheep, you have a star quality about you. In fact, you are really the celebrity of your family. Did you know that? A lot of you all are the star of your family. Dua Kaprash. Dua. A lot of you all are the star of your family. And so the same way that people wait to watch celebrities fall, they love to talk about them, they love to gossip about them, people do the same thing to you. Okay, so they're waiting for your demise. This is why you must stay on top of your game, and you must be wealthy if you are the scapegoat. You must. Okay? So I'm going to veggie back on that video, the one that did so well. Okay, since clearly a lot of you all are going through this. Okay, the video on what happens when the scapegoat leaves a toxic family. So let's start from there. When you are separating from your family, okay, the first thing that you must do is decide. That's step one. Decide that you are going to separate from your dysfunctional family in order to elevate, in order to be financially successful. Okay? This is number one in becoming prosperous and victorious over your own life. Okay? A lot of times when I talk about low vibrational people and low vibrational environments, people ask me, well, what if it's family? What if it's family? Am I still supposed to separate if it's family? And my answer to that is especially if it's family. Especially if it's family. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay? Your family are your first relationships. Okay? Your mother is your first best friend. If you're a woman, your mother is your first friend. Your father is your first lover. Not in a romantic way, but you love your father. Your father is the person who teaches you how a man is supposed to treat you. If you are a man, your father is supposed to be your best friend. He's your first best friend. And your mother is the one who teaches you what type of, okay? You admire your mother. You look at your mother like, this is the type of woman that I want. That's what she's supposed to be. So your family is the one who teaches you about relationships. If you grew up in a toxic or narcissistic family, your family were your first bullies. They weren't your friends, okay? They were the ones who first bullied you. And in doing so, they taught you what to accept from relationships. They taught you how you're supposed to be treated. They taught you how you're supposed to give and receive love. Okay? They taught you what's acceptable. Okay? If you were in a toxic family system, you learn how to people please. You learn how to be abandoned. You learn how to get the bare minimum. Okay, this is where you learn how to be a victim in your life. So where you hear a lot of these channels who speak about scapegoating or, narcissistic relationships, they keep talking about, why me? Why is this happening to me? I'm such a good person. Why do people always do this to me? You know, I don't understand why people, because you were trained to have relationships like that, because your first teacher in relationships, which is your family, taught you to be bullied. They taught you that even when you're doing well, nobody's going to applaud you. Okay? They taught you that even when you're right, you're going to be made to be wrong. So you always end up in situations where you become victimized. And if you do not learn how to separate that relationship and cut off the root of where those type of things started, you'll continue to experience that in every relationship that you go through. Because that's what they taught you. And the energy of that is still connected to you. It's still weaved into how you see relationships with other people. On the reverse, if you learn how to cut off your mama, your daddy, your sister who ain't treating you right, nobody else will be able to come into your life and mistreat you for an extended period of time without you saying, listen, I didn't even accept this from my mama. My mama can't do me like this, so you damn sure can't do me like this. If you learn how to have strong boundaries with your family, you will learn how to do it with everybody else. So the first step in becoming wealthy and prosperous in your own life is to decide to cut off relationships with your toxic family members. Yes, even your family can go. Okay? All right. So you'll notice that the closer that you are to toxic family, the more your resources will begin to drain from you. The closer the relationship you have with them, the more they'll be able to have access to drain your resources. Okay? They do this because they will sabotage you in numerous different ways. One, they tie up your head in so much drama, okay, that you cannot focus, you cannot have peace, you cannot have mental clarity. So it makes it very difficult for you to create. It makes it difficult for you to develop and to grow. Okay. Peace to you, Haven Jane. Haven Jane says, I've been estranged from my whole family for a few years now. I've learned a lot through my journey. You are speaking truth. Yes, ma'am. Dewan Netter, I'm glad for you that you were able to do that. It is not easy. It is not easy. For anybody who doesn't understand what that is, no one really wants to separate from their family. You have to know that for somebody to make that decision, it took a lot. It took a whole lot. Okay. So they'll sabotage you. They will create drama in your life. They will start fights with you. They'll try to ruin your reputation. Okay. I've seen family members who are toxic try to get your kids taken away from you. They'll do things like that. They'll try to set you up in fights to get you arrested, knowing that you have a great flourishing career ahead of you, but they know that'll ruin everything. So they try to get you arrested. There's no length that they won't go to destroy you. Okay. These people are set on demon time. They are set on demon time. Your alarm clock in the morning is set at 5 a.m. and theirs is set on demon time. Okay. So they wake up every single day to steal, kill, and destroy. And you are the target. As long as you are in close proximity to them, you are the target. Okay. The reason that you're the target is because you're the one who has a very bright light in the family. Okay. You're the one who has the brightest star. And you could be a light worker, you could be a musician, you could be a yoga teacher, herbalist. It doesn't matter what it is. Whatever your skill or your talent is, you're very authentic And because of that, you have a bright star. These are a lot of people, a lot of the time, the toxic family members, these are people who never allowed their star, their light within them to shine. And that's because they entertain a lot of bullshit. They entertain a lot of bullshit and they never cultivated that light. You did. And they envy you for cultivating that light, because they see what not cultivating their light, how it turned out for them, how their life turned out. And so they envy you for that. Okay. Whatever your skill or your talent is, it's actually meant to raise the vibration of your bloodline. It's meant to raise the vibration of your bloodline, and it is meant to raise the vibration of the planet. This is why I always talk about things in terms of energy and frequency, because that's the purest form of really understanding these things. Okay? This light that you've had within you, you've had it from birth, and everybody can see it. Everybody can see it. And it's not that it's something that they don't have. It's just something within them that they never cultivated because of fear, because of things that they've listened to in the world, things that they've gotten into in the world, whether it's friends, they get into bad company, they get into all type of things of this world that take them away from who they really are. And so seeing you cultivate your own light, it actually angers them. It angers them. And they see your success as an affirmation of their failure. Okay. So when you begin to become successful, if you achieve success amongst toxic family, they will do everything to pull you down. They'll become a leech onto you. They will feel entitled to your money. They'll feel like, well, why is she making all that money over there, and why is she not giving it to me? You know, she got so much money. She's supposed to be doing this with her money. She's supposed to be doing this for me. They think you're supposed to take care of the whole family with your little bit of money. You're just getting by. You might be doing relatively well, but you're just doing well as a regular adult. You're not wealthy yet. And even if you are, you got certain things that you want to do to grow that wealth. So they'll start to diminish you. They'll start calling you cheap and selfish and all type of stuff. They'll slander you. Okay? As if you stopped them from achieving stuff in your life. They've been here 30 years longer than you, haven't done nothing with their life, and feel like you owe them something. Okay. Haven James says, even before one achieves success, they will do that. Story of my life. Mine too, girl. Mine too. I know how it goes. Okay. They will try to make you feel guilty for your success. And if you haven't done the work, the inner work on yourself, you will feel guilty. And sometimes you will self-sabotage because you feel guilty. You will go out of your way to help them, and they will never appreciate it. They'll never appreciate it. They will not even see what you did. They're not even going to see what you did. All what you're doing to try to appease these people, they don't even see what you did. They don't see it. In fact, they think you should have done more. Sometimes they even think the good things that you're doing, you had a horrible intention for it. It took me a while to figure this out. It took me a long time to figure this out. When you have a certain benevolent spirit, a lot of times you don't think that other people are doing wicked things to you. And that's because that's not how you think, right? Because you don't think like that. You don't believe that other people think like that. What I learned is that it actually goes the same way the other way around. Meaning that people who have a malevolent spirit, they always seek to do harm. They always scamming and scheming. When you do good things, they don't believe that you did it with good intention. They believe there's a scheme and a scam behind what you're doing. So you doing all that good, they don't even see it. they will have an excuse for why you did what you did and how you're trying to do this, you're trying to do that. And you're like, why are they saying this? I don't even think like that. I literally don't even think like that. Where are they coming up with this? You know why they think that? Because that's what they would do to you. The same way you think, I'm a good person, who would do this to me? Like, I would never do that to anyone. Why would anyone do this? They also think, I know I'm an effed up person. I would never do this nice shit for nobody else. Why the hell would she do this? She got bad intentions. I know why she really doing this. She doing this for X, Y, Y, Z. I see through her. They come up with a whole scenario of why you did something nice for them. And it's never anything good. So they don't see it. Okay? This is why, in order to become the GOAT and to become wealthy and victorious over your life, step one is you must decide to get the hell away from these people. Okay? Now, step two, after you make that decision, is you have to plan and save. Plan and save. Okay? Plan and save. If you're at the beginning of your journey and you have not yet disconnected from toxic family, you want to start planning from now. And the first place you want to start is with your money. Okay? Decide where you're going to move to, where you're going to live, what it's going to cost you. Okay? And begin to stack your money. Begin to stack your money. Okay? If you don't have a job, get a job. If you have a job and it's not paying you enough, get another job. Okay? Get a side hustle. It doesn't matter. Do whatever you have to do to plan and to save enough money in order to make that break and make that move and that separation. Okay? You have to know what the cost of living is going to be, where you're moving to, what it's going to cost you to move. Just plan all of that out. And while you are planning, keep your mouth shut. Okay? Keep your mouth shut. Do not tell anyone who does not need to know what you're doing. The only people who need to know are those who are involved in the move. And you only tell people what they need to know. So if they don't need to know certain information, then they don't need to know certain information. Okay? So I did this actually years ago when I moved out of my family's house and I moved from New York. And I knew I was going to a totally different state. I did not want them to know where I was going. So I told the movers specifically that when they got there, none of the movers were to tell anybody in that house or any neighbor, because sometimes neighbors will be curious and just ask questions, not to be malicious, but they'll be like, oh, where's the truck going to? You know, I told them specifically, you are not to tell anybody where this truck is going. Because I knew that somebody would come out the house and ask, where's the truck going to? And of course, like clockwork, they did. Of course they did. But I was ready. Okay? You want to keep your mouth shut. Don't tell anybody where you're going to. Only people who are in your circle who will keep you safe that need to know where you're going. Okay? If you tell them and if they know that you're moving, they're going to make it very difficult for you to leave. Okay? They're going to make it very difficult for you to leave. They're going to make your life hell in the times that they're already making your life hell, but they make it worse. Okay? Give yourself a little bit of peace. It's hard enough. Okay? Abusive people do not actually want you to leave. No matter how much they try to isolate you and tell you they don't want you around and all that, they don't want you to leave. Okay? What abusive people want is control. They want control. That's the whole reason they're doing what they're doing. They want control over you. They want to place you in a prison where they're the warden, and they have the keys. They don't want you to leave. You never, ever tell an abusive person that you're leaving. Pack in silence, plan in silence, save in silence, and leave as inconspicuously as you possibly can. You're not going to be able to hide everything, more than likely, but do so as inconspicuously as you can. Keep your mouth shut. Okay? If you can plan to leave when they're on vacation, when they're out of town, do so. Okay? The third step in becoming wealthy, okay, in becoming wealthy as a scapegoat, is that you want to invest. You want to invest, okay? So once you've made your way to safety and you're stable, this is the time to take supreme care of yourself. Excellent care of yourself, okay? Your biggest investment is you. So you want to focus on yourself. I remember years ago when I started learning about Bitcoin and stocks and all these other things. I had a friend who was quite wealthy, and I asked him, I want to start investing, but I don't really understand where to start. Like I don't know which one should I choose. Should I go into stock? Should I real estate? I started asking him, what do I do? I don't know what do I do? And he said, invest in yourself. He said, invest in yourself. And I never forgot that. I never forgot that. And no matter what stage I was in, whether I was dead broke or had money, that was number one for me when it comes to investing and growing wealth, becoming wealthy, is investing in myself. So years later, when I left my family, moved across country to the Midwest from New York, right? There was a period of time where I lived in my car. I lived in my car for a good 6 months. And to most people, that would be like a tragic thing. I was at peace. I was truly at peace. I was at peace. Like, I remember talking to my cousin, one of my favorite cousins during that time, and he was just shocked. He's like, why are you so happy? Like, why are you so happy? And he just was shocked to see. He would say, I love to see how people handle resilience with grace. And I really was at peace because I didn't have nobody bothering me or harassing me during that time. You understand? But during that time, I didn't say, oh, well, I'm broke right now. I don't have no place to live. So I'm just going to eat McDonald's and oodles and noodles for every single meal. No, I didn't do that. In fact, I ate the healthiest that I've ever eaten in my life during that time. The reason that I did that is because I didn't have no health insurance and I didn't have nobody to take care of me if I got sick. So there's no point in eating McDonald's, oodles and noodles, White Castle, Murder King, all of that, when I know eating like that is going to make me sick. I've already been there, done that. I know eating like that is going to make me sick. So I'm not going to do that to myself. I'm going to buy the best of what I can buy. I pretty much ate a raw foods diet during that entire time. I would wake up, slept in a parking lot of Walmart, would wake up 6 o'clock, go to the gym, get washed up, dressed up, all of that, go to Kroger by 8, 9 o'clock, okay, and buy my fruits, fresh fruit. Okay, so most of the time I would get me some strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, raspberries, avocado, some nuts, put a little bit of agave on top of the avocado. That was my thing. Have a cup of tea, and that's my breakfast. That's my breakfast. So I have raw foods. For lunch, I had salad, basically. I didn't have anywhere to cook, so everything that I ate was raw foods. I wasn't going to go hungry. And I kept it basic and simple. But that was an investment in myself. I did not mistreat myself. I gave myself the best of what I needed and what I could afford during that time. So when I say invest in yourself, I'm not talking about living above your means. Okay? Another thing that I did during that time was, because I needed some place to get clean, washed up, all of that stuff, I made sure I found a laundromat, and I made sure that I found a gym. The gym was going to be basically where I got clean, washed, all of that. It doesn't matter what I'm going through. I'm going to have good hygiene, period. I'm going to do whatever I can to have good hygiene. So I could have chose the $10 a month Planet Fitness membership, but I didn't. Instead, I chose the $28 a month Sport Fitness membership. Why? Because I'm already going through homelessness, family trauma, all that other stuff. I needed to be around people. I didn't want to just go to the gym and work out machines and not talk to anybody, which is what Planet Fitness is. It's like a gym for, if you're just about your business, go to the gym and go home. You're not there to really socialize. That's how it is. And that's cool for you if that's what you need. But in that time, I needed something else. The Sport of Fitness had the works, and it was just a little bit more. That was an investment in myself. They had fitness classes there, dance fitness, which I love. I didn't even know that I loved dance fitness, but that was like therapy for me. When I would go to dance fitness classes, and I went every day like clockwork because I was already in the gym getting clean and washed up. So I would go to the dance fitness classes. I would go to yoga. And so I made friends at the gym. You understand? That was what I needed during that time. They had a sauna. They had a pool. They had a hot tub. I felt bougie when I went to the gym. It didn't matter that I was sleeping in my car. I was bougie when I was at the gym. I was around wealth. I was around people who were taking care of themselves. So I invested in myself. And I use that principle no matter what stage I'm in, that I'm going to give myself the best of what I can afford in that time. I'm not living above my means. I made sure that it was something that I could afford at that time. If what you can afford is Planet Fitness, ain't nothing wrong with that if you're in that situation. But I knew I could do a little bit better, and I needed those things. So I gave that to myself. That was my therapy. I couldn't afford a therapist at that time. I also got to see a different side of myself by doing dance fitness. Like, I loved it. I didn't realize that I was good at that. And I had a time where I was getting a lot of validation for how good I was in class. Even the instructors, they would say on a regular basis, I don't know what it is about you, but when you come into the class, you light up the whole class. And I knew it. So it helped me to discover a different side of myself, to be more authentic in spaces where I didn't have to worry about anybody trying to tear me down. So invest in yourself. Give yourself the best of what you can afford in that moment. Okay? The fourth step is protect your assets. Okay? Protect your assets. Once you get to where you want, you're stable, you are investing in yourself, you want to protect your assets. And your number one asset is yourself. Okay? To have something of value without being able to protect it is like not having it at all. Let me say that again. To have something of value without being able to protect it is like not having it at all. Okay? In order to become the GOAT, And in order to become financially successful, you have to learn how to protect your assets. Okay. And if you watched a video on my channel called The Skills That the Empath Must Master, is going to give you some information on how to begin protecting your assets. So we're not going to go into all of that. Okay. But I'll touch on it. In protecting your assets, you have to learn what malevolence looks like. So all the time that you've spent watching videos on narcissistic abuse and, learning about gaslighting, projection, all of the manipulative behaviors that people who have more of a malevolent spirit use, this is a part of your education in developing good boundaries, learning how to assert yourself. You must learn assertiveness. You must learn assertiveness. This is going to help you advocate for yourself. Okay? You have to learn how to say no. And you have to learn how to keep your business to yourself. Everybody is not supposed to know what you have going on. Okay? Sometimes, as those of us who have been in this position, you talk too much. You want somebody to lean on, so you go and tell people too much of your business, and it makes you vulnerable. Okay? You have to learn how to protect your assets. Okay? So during the time that I was going through that I was living in my car, I realized that I was in a very, very vulnerable position. And so I didn't tell people what I was going through. I didn't go to the gym telling people, oh, I'm living in my car. Da, 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 da. Nobody would know the amount of high energy that I had and how happy that I was in class and how I lit up the room. Really, nobody knew I was going through that. Nobody knew. And I knew in my mind that I could not let anybody know, because that was a safe space for me. That was my therapy for me. And I wasn't going to allow anybody to ruin it. Okay. I wasn't going to allow anybody to ruin it with gossip or with, dirty looks, or, people can do anything when they find out certain information about you. And in that space, I was so vulnerable. I knew that I could not take being kicked while I was down. I knew I couldn't take it in that time, which is why I came on here. And I didn't tell you guys. You all didn't know either. So go back, a few years when you see all those videos of me doing YouTube in my car. And I told y'all I was on the road. I was on the road. I was on the road. I was living on the damn road. Okay. I was literally on the road. I didn't tell nobody. I wasn't looking for a handout. I wasn't looking for anything. I had to protect my assets. Okay. And you can do this no matter what stage you are of wealth building. If you dead broke, living in your car, living on the street, living in a shelter, it does not matter. Okay. When you learn these skills in that position, you'll take it with you as you elevate. Christina says, for sure, we need to be an ally to us ourselves. I am in that stage. Give thanks. I'm so glad that you're here. Protecting my essence. Give thanks. I know I needed to do this video. I know I needed to do this video. Thank you so much for being here. Hi. I knew that I wasn't going to be able to recover if I didn't keep my business to myself. So I did. And when people started to pry and ask certain questions, that's when I learned to be more assertive and strong. And when you start to become assertive and defend yourself and protect yourself and advocate for yourself, it will raise your self-esteem. It will raise your self-esteem. You have no idea the damage that it did to your self-esteem for you to be in a position where maybe somebody mistreated you in your family, violated you very early, and your family protected the abuser. It put you in a disempowering victim space, and you carry that with you. When you start to advocate for yourself, you're going to raise your self-esteem. You will not even be able to imagine how good you feel just by being able to tell people no, just by being able to assert your boundaries and have it respected, and stop giving a damn who like you, and make sure respect better be on the table. I don't give a damn if you like me or not. Your self-esteem will raise. Dua to you, Christina. Christina says, thank you, too, for sharing your knowledge and your experiences. Hugs. Hugs to you. Hugs to you, Sanat. Sending you a whole lot of love and healing energy. Okay? So step 5 for me is networking. Okay? And becoming the GOAT and becoming victorious in your life, no matter what stage you're in, you have to have a good network. And we hear this a lot of the time, that your net worth or your network is your net worth, right? Wealthy people tend to have a very big network of people. A millionaire has a millionaire network. Okay. And a lot of time when we see this with celebrities, like you'll see celebrities have a whole team. And I think sometimes people believe that you have that team because you are a celebrity. No, no. You become successful because you have a team. It's not that you get to a certain level of success and then you just create a team or somebody gives you a team. You have to develop a network. So normally in like when you see families of generational wealth, the family is the network. The family is the team. But you're coming from a family system that is broken, dysfunctional. It's not a strong family system. So that's not your team. You have to develop your own team. You have to develop your own tribe. Okay? You have to find your own tribe. When you leave your family, you're going to feel like a tree without roots. You're literally going to feel lost out there in the world. You're going to feel like a tree without roots. And in order to flourish, you're going to have to replant yourself, but you have to do that in good soil. Okay? So you have to begin to make connections that's based on who you are authentically. And in order to do that, you have to be who you are authentically. This is another reason that separating you from your family is going to help you become the GOAT, because you could not be your authentic self around them, because being your authentic self made them so insecure that they would always attack you. So being away from them gives you the opportunity to explore the things that you never had the opportunity to explore around them, or that you felt so enclosed or shy or scared or timid, fearful to express yourself, be who you really are. You understand? When you get away from them, you can start to do the things that you like, whether it's, I always wanted to take bike lessons. I always wanted to go skating. I am a writer, so I'm going to join a writers group. I want to learn about African history, which it was for me. So I started taking classes on African history. I have an affinity towards natural wellness. So I learned about holistic health. I took certain courses on holistic health. I joined certain organizations, classes, courses where I made friends with, made connections with people who were on the same path as me. And not everybody's doing the same exact things as you, but you'll have certain things in common when you're doing things that you generally or that you genuinely enjoy. Sometimes in life, I notice a lot of people are doing this, which is you start just to have company. You'll go do things with other people that don't really resonate with you. Like you think everybody is doing this. Oh, everybody's at the club, and nobody likes to do the things that I'm doing. So I'm just gonna go to the club with them. I know I'm not really a club person. I know I'm not a bar person, but I'm just gonna go do this. So I have some friends. No, no, that's not how you develop your network. You develop your network by doing the things that are authentic to you. And that sometimes means that you have to begin alone. I remember telling this to someone and she was like, I'm not like you. I'm not strong. I don't know how to be alone. I can't be alone. Being alone for now doesn't mean you're going to be alone forever. You're going to have a season where you might be alone. And eventually, as you continue to do the things that you love, other people will join you. I didn't tell you to go be alone forever, child. I'm not putting you in solitary confinement. But you have to learn who you are. You have to learn the things that you genuinely enjoy. And as you go do those things, other people will join you. This is how you find your tribe. But when you're so afraid to be alone and you love company so much, in Jamaica, we call that being a follow fashion monkey. You love follow fashion. Monkey see, monkey do. You love to do what everybody else is doing instead of being authentic to yourself. Stop following people and go do what's in your heart to do. Go do what your ancestors keep telling you to do. Go do what your spirit keep telling you to do. Go do the thing. And if you need to do it alone, do it alone. The people who are right for you are going to find you. This is how you build your tribe. This is how you find your tribe. This is how you build your network. And this is how you build your net worth. Okay? These are the people who are on the same vibration as you in certain areas, maybe not in all areas, but they're on the same vibration as you in that moment in time. Okay? And this is going to help you to know yourself. When you know yourself more, you will be better able to decipher who the vultures are. Okay? You'll be better able to decipher which people you need to cut away, stay away from, and who is good for you. Okay? Who is on the same path and purpose as you. This is how you're going to build Ma'ati relationships. Ma'ati relationships. If you don't know what Ma'at is, I did a video on living in Ma'at on this channel. Okay? So you want to find and develop relationships that are mutually beneficial. For a very long time, you had friendships, relationships, family relationships that were one-sided, where you are giving, and the other person is taking, depleting you. You want to have mutually beneficial, supportive, loving, kind, respectful relationships. Okay? This is one of the most important aspects of how the black sheep becomes the goat. Okay? This is how you become wealthy, financially successful, and victorious over your life. Okay? I hope this was helpful to you. If any of this resonates with you and you would like my assistance on your journey, this is the type of work that we are doing in the Alchemy of Black Healing course. Okay, I started working on this course about 3 years ago, and I finally finished it. And I actually was working on it back in the day while I was going through that. But I guess I had some more spiritual work to do in order to complete it. And I actually did complete it a few months ago. I didn't even talk about it. I completed it. I was just so happy for it to finally be done. So I haven't launched it yet, but I am going to be launching it soon. And if you would like to learn more about it, okay, I will have an interest meeting soon. So what I need you to do is head over to kemeticwellness.com/programs and click on the Alchemy of Black Healing course. It'll say coming soon and request to join. In order to request to join, you do have to be a member. Membership is free, but you must follow the directions, okay? It will tell you clearly how to get accepted as a member. So just follow the directions, okay? Yes, so that is it for this video. I want to thank all of you for being here with me, and I especially want to thank Christina Vielo. I hope I'm saying it correctly, Christina. I want to thank Haven Jane. I want to thank my brother Kapresh for commenting and letting your voice be heard on this stream. Okay, so that's it for this video, and I will see you in the next one.